up, peeps? I have a bit of a story time to tell. If you can hear noises, people are in the house. Let's just ignore that. This story happened just this week. It's the story of when I got rushed to hospital on the Sunday. Let's get into it. It all started on the Sunday. I was feeling really feverish and unwell in the morning, but I was like, oh, it'll pass, it'll be fine. And then we were in the car. My sister was doing her, like, practicing her driving because she's on her L's. As soon as we got home, I started coughing like differently. Like, I'm someone who always coughs, but this cough was really different. And I'm not coughing because I smoke or anything, it's just me. That's how I am, I'm a cougher. So I started coughing and it was a really chunky, like liquidy kind of cough. It was like a lot of it. What I did, because I normally swallow back down my cough, which is a no-no. Do not do that because it's just disgusting and it's bad for your body. So I swallowed it back down and then I got my phone out and I looked at my tongue and I went, and it had all blood on my tongue. And that's when I knew that I was coughing up blood. So my dad opened the car door and he's like, "You right?" I'm like, "No, I think I'm coughing up blood." Well, I know I am, but I was like, "Did I think I'm coughing up blood?" He's like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And I showed him, so I spat it out and there was blood. It was disgusting. I've actually coughed up blood before when I was in year 9, and it turned out to be pneumonia. So that was my biggest concern, is that I had pneumonia. At that minute I was like, oh my god, I've got pneumonia. So I get into the house and because I had been coughing so much, I vomited. And I vomited up blood, plus my Bunnings sausage, which was really devastating. My mum called the ambulance straight away, because if you ever cough up blood, that is a sign of something not right in your body. Plus I have medical history with other stuff, so I needed to be admitted into hospital ASAP Rocky. Got in the ambo. It was a fun ride actually. I haven't been in an ambulance like ever, like if I can remember. I was in one when I was like teeny tiny baby, but not as an adult or something that I would remember. So it was actually pretty fun because I was pretty calm. I get anxious around these kind of situations, but I was actually pretty calm and I was pretty proud of myself. Went into the emergency room. They put me in resus because it was a respiratory problem. Got admitted into there, and then the doctors and nurses all checked me out. I also had, there was a guy next to me in resus who was drunk off his head. Police were there. He was incarcerated. He was off his chops really. Then they moved me down a little bit to like a little room where I was just sitting. Welcome to my crib. Don't mind my accessories. They're just cute. My needle. Yes. It's a needle. I hate needles. Dad, show them my crib.
Your crib?
Yeah. It's a 4x4 bed.
Check your numbers, love.
Yeah, how am I going?
Oh, you're flying, love.
I'm in here for, what am I in here for? Chest infection. Pretty lit. You know, throw up some blood. And a sausage, Bunnings sausage. I think I'm off them now. It's a bit sad, but thanks. I'll see you on the flip side. Then they did an chest x-ray, so that was fun. Then they were like, "You're gonna stay the night," because we just want to like keep doing observations on you and all that kind of stuff. And they said at that point that it was just a chest infection. So I was like, you know what, I can deal with the chest infection. Just hit me with a lot of antibiotics. I was put up in a ward, and by that time I had gotten my drip in, my IV, which I hated doing because I hate needles. I want to know someone who loves needles. Like, please tell me, because I swear everyone hates needles, and this was, I hated it. Put up into the ward. with other people in the room, and it was great. Just getting observed all the time by the nurses. Then, you know, had some dinner, which was actually pretty decent lot of dinner, may I say. Then it was Monday morning, and I was like, yep, feeling good, because they literally hit me with so many drugs, because like I was getting fluid through my arm, antibiotics through my arm, a lot of things through my arm. And then this woman came around. She's like, all right guys, we're doing blood tests. She just goes around with a little trolley. She's like, all right, blood test time. Just like as if you're handing out newspapers or something. Okay guys, get ready for your blood test. So I had a blood test, screaming, hated it. And that's what I can remember on Monday. Like my family came in and everything. And then Tuesday, didn't wake up too well. I was a bit like, maybe I am not quite right because I didn't wake up that well. Then I had to get clotting needles put in me. Sorry about that. I had to get clotting needles put in me because I wasn't moving around a lot, and they didn't want me to clot, obviously. So I had to get this needle. And this was the worst needle in my life I have ever gotten. It's literally, like, it was fine going in. Going out, it stings. Oh, like it stings 2 minutes after the needle comes out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. I had to get that done twice. I know, terrible. So I got that done. I just got jabbed in the stomach for blood clots because I'm not moving around as much. And it hurt so much. It stung. It still kind of stings. Then I got, what else? Oh, and then I had to get a blood gas in my wrist, which is, you know how you normally get a blood test, they do it through your vein. This one they do through your artery to get a better reading of what is going on inside your body. So the respiratory team did that for me, and then they came back and they said everything like looked fine, and all that kind of stuff. It was just like an infection. But then the last day, no, I think it was like Tuesday night, they're like, so turns out you have pneumonia. And I was like, cool, yep, awesome, love it. The blood tests previously, they were for my kidney and my hemoglobin, and everything was good in that sense. But the reason, like, because all my cough had subsided, like everything about my cough, I hadn't coughed up blood since I had been there. So that was all like under control. But the reason I stayed till Wednesday afternoon, so 3 days, was because of my oxygen levels. My oxygen levels were quite low. For me, they're low anyway, but these in particular were pretty low. So I had to stay on oxygen majority of the time I was there. I finally was let off oxygen Wednesday morning or afternoon, and I could finally breathe on my own with a good rate, if you know what I mean. Like I could breathe on my own, but I wasn't getting enough oxygen in me, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So that's pretty much what my story time is about. How I was rushed to hospital, and I literally came back 2 days ago. Been resting up. I've taken work off for the whole week. I'm feeling a lot better, you know. Whoop. I'm still high on drugs. I think I am, because I still have to take my antibiotics and everything, and that was another thing at the hospital. When they take you off your drip, you have to have the tablets still, and I can't swallow tablets to save my life. And at this point I was like, I need to swallow these tablets because otherwise I'm not going to get any better. And I conquered my fear of swallowing tablets, and I can now do it. Oh, I'm so proud of myself, because 20 years of always having liquids and always being terrified swallowing tablets, I can now say I can swallow tablets. Yay!
You are the mother fucking shit. You are great. You are magnificent.
So I've been doing that twice a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, so 4 tablets a day. It was 8. They woke me up at like 5 in the morning. They're like, okay, you gotta have these 2 tablets and these, yeah. It was, you know, it was fun. I loved that hospital. the environment was good. And also, oh, so much happened in this week. So my nan, she was admitted into the same hospital, and she's fine. Like, she's 90 nearly, and she has a lot of like issues with her medical stuff and everything. So she was admitted into hospital, nothing serious, just like keeping an eye on her and everything. And she was put in the same ward, in the same room, and she was sleeping next to me for a night. And I was like, this, like, what are the chances? Like, no one could have actually imagined this would ever happen. And the doctors and nurses were like, oh my god, really? That's your nan? What the hell? They were like gobsmacked. It was so funny. But it was nice to have her there because, you know, it felt really homey in a way. But it was good. It was a good experience, and I'm feeling heaps better. But yeah. Yeah. I'll see you soon. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Bye.